So in case any of y'all are wondering, I made it and did the 2 hot classes we had today. Yeah, it's been a hell of a week. I realized when I got here kind of that what I thought was hot yoga is actually not quite what they're teaching. And by that I mean it's not really hot yoga or like the hot yoga training that I was actually in. So it's been a really rough week because I was freaking out thinking like I was here for this training, and then like I come and I take the class on Sunday, which is the day I arrived, a few hours after I was settled in, and it was like the most intense, like strange experience because I hadn't actually taken a class of the hot yoga that this training teaches. And I mean, it's great. I really recommend this company, Evolution Yoga. They're wonderful. I really appreciate the sincerity and the hard working ethic hard work ethic that my teacher trainer Jessica's phenomenal. She's like who I want to be when I grow up. One second. Yeah. Yeah, just give me a second. That was one of my co-trainees. That was Ricky. We'll meet him later. So I was on the phone. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm actually vlogging, but anyway. So yeah, the nature of this training is it's a residential, or like it's a 30-day training. They're actually leaving, which bums me out because like they're great. So it's Ricky and Natalia are the my friends that are from out of nowhere that are also part of the trainees. And I meet another trainee I think next week when they leave me. I'm gonna have to do the training with someone else, or I don't know how that's gonna go. So, but I'll keep y'all posted. So today I had 2 of those hot classes. At first they were really overwhelming. So any yogi that is out there doing a teacher training, just know that like I was super overwhelmed and it was a lot. And now they're starting to feel tired like I was when because I got here a day earlier, and I'm like, yeah, I told you all, like it was tough, and I had a couple rough days. Today my practice was spot on in the morning or afternoon, and then I took like a vinyasa-ish class, and I did my vinyasa in the morning, then I did a hot yoga class with the training, and then we did our like posture mechanics and stuff, and I like went full out every posture because that's what you do when you're in yoga training and our teacher training. And now I'm exhausted, and I'm really gonna feel it tomorrow. We have another class tomorrow, Jess's class tomorrow, and so the days are pretty intense. And there's lecture, and then there's like posture mechanics and stuff like that. And but it's been really transformative in a lot of ways. They pinpointed my issue of introversion, and they're like giving the instructions for the class. And I just like stared off and did it, but like, okay, so now your issue is like, stopping or getting out of that introversion and teaching. So that's my hurdle that I'm jumping over, or trying to jump over, or planning to jump over, whatever that phrasing would be. So future Kristen, when you watch this and you're embarrassed, you should be, because it was just it's not a pretty process. But I think as a group and just to keep this memory alive, like we were doing really well considering that like my first class was like Sunday, and like, oh, you learn fast. I'm like, I was freaking out for a good 2 days. Like, what am I doing here? Am I supposed to do this? Why did I do this? Like, I'm in New York, or Buffalo, New York, and I'm from Texas, South Texas. Like, what the hell is wrong with me? Like, why did I decide to do this? Well, I'm not like that, that experience in yoga. You told me a year ago that I was gonna be like doing teacher training and that I was gonna be like loving yogi. I would have thought you were crazy. I didn't think I was gonna be blonde or have like 2 tattoos or anything. Hopefully more to come. If you're a tattoo artist, message me and show me your work. But because I also really would love to learn how to tattoo, but I didn't really consider myself an artist. I mean, I say this with all my artwork and photography in the background, and my yoga books, like ironically, and my writing. But I was always pre-med, and now I'm in a yoga teacher training, and it's weird. There's a lot of, like, I have this beautiful room, and I have these wonderful people that have been just taking care of me in a sense, like, we've all been taking care of each other, and, I sound like the people I didn't think I was going to sound like, and, I'm finding more or less myself, and in such a beautiful practice of the yoga, that I can't help but be super grateful, and confused because this teacher training was not at all what I expected. It's really transformative, and I'm happy. It's very strange to be happy and like super stressed and like super tired and like you're sweaty and you're gross and like it's just a lot, and then like trust the process of like I don't really have a choice, do I? Because like fighting the process, trusting it, whatever. Like I'm here and I'm accepting and I'm willing and I'm grateful for it. And trusting it is like, I mean, it's going to happen regardless. But I've noticed a change in myself in that, the process is starting to, the more that I give to the process, the more that the process is processing, I guess. Because it'll happen, when I want it to, I guess, in a sense. So today I learned, so today I learned that I'm really introverted, so that's shocking for anybody that knows me. And I learned that I can improve really quick, and I do learn really quick. I saw the learning happen, which is crazy. I'm really not doing the whole studying with memory, like flashcards and stuff. So that's one thing I learned about myself. Sure, a couple things. And I find myself just being more of me, which is a weird thing to say, but I guess more consciously myself, both in and out of my yoga practice. My shoulder stand was on point today. I have to post that video or something, or I'll just do it in one of these videos, because it's really good now. It was decent before, now it's super great. Natalia and Ricky and I are gonna take photos. She's like, oh, you're a photographer, you have a real camera. I'm like, yeah, we'll do that before y'all leave. And I stopped by these really cool old cars and set up as a photographer, and just to see where the paths of my skills take me. And I believe it was Kaylee that said that I needed to grow to the extent of my skills, or to be in a position where I would use the extent of my skills, or that I was too, I don't know who it was. I'm sorry if it wasn't Kaylee or if it was point being, when someone said that to me, that I needed something to grow or to be the extent of myself, I was honored and confused and intimidated and all kinds of things, and I was like, I don't know what to make of that, but I'm starting to see it now. I do believe that I will bring such a unique teacher experience or teaching experience. When they said you're never taking the pod class, but you speak so quickly, you're a natural fit for it, was what Jess said. It was like, you're so cool and you're great and you're talented, you're smart, and you said this to me. It's like, can I do it? I mean, I'm doing it, but when David surprised me with a word, he's like, go, and the words are in there. I was like, I guess so. I mean, I'm just as surprised as everyone else is. So my practices have been, the intention for my practices have been, something along the lines of self-assurance, there's confidence, and it's not that I'm not confident, just that being yourself and the extent to which you are being yourself, I think, gets more difficult, or it becomes more of a choice the more that you are aware of yourself, in a sense. But that becomes more and more ambiguous. What does it mean? Who am I? What is myself and what is not myself? I'm just a biological thing, kind of. And these are questions that the yogic text mentioned, but really, in practically, it's okay, you say that I have these skills, or how do I measure them? Especially if I'm not getting hired anywhere, or if I, I don't make art from me necessarily because it's pretty. I make it because it's just something I made. Maybe it's my fault for not having the intentions behind these things, but I didn't really know that there was another way to do it. So I don't know, this may just be me. This rant is getting a lot longer than I anticipated, and I'm surprised that I'm ranting this much. But very fortunate to have found my way through these different life experiences that have been tough in the past. The last couple of years have been really, really rough, and for a lot of reasons, the stories will happen or won't happen or whatever. But it's part of me, and I think that I felt like I didn't have an identity for a while. When my parents got divorced, I'm like, I'm not just Longoria, I'm also Flores, but why do I only have this last name? And I don't want to be named one thing, or just because both my parents, and she got to change her name. It's just weird. And then not really having a place to fit in necessarily. It's been interesting. And then I didn't really know what or who I was or where I would fit in. I didn't want to be pre-med anymore. I didn't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a doctor, or at least up to this point. And right now, the self is me, and it's as true as can be that I just rhymed. But that's just not really my thing. And finish the rhyme. I kind of I want to be a rapper. I want to be an artist. I want to be a yogi or a yoga teacher. I really don't know. I don't even know what I am, because most of my life was spent, doing things that I needed to do. And when I lost my best friend and my brother, it was just like, oh shit. I realized that I was given this huge gift of myself, which was hard to come to terms with, I think, for a while, and hard for me to make sense of, and a gift that I really wasn't ready to receive. I was oh, here's a car, and it's but I don't know how to drive, or I didn't know. I don't know. There's no real metaphor that would, I guess, kind of sum that up. So where I'm at in life, that's why I decided to vlog, to get rid of my introversion. Apparently it's only kind of working. But I think it's important that this transformative experience is documented and that I start to branch out and to do things like this or karaoke or singing or whatever, just to kind of explore my abilities myself and like, take my yoga practice off the mat and like, push myself to certain limits or just explore and really enjoy the experience of this life and this sentient being that I am. And I don't know. So it's kind of weird making these YouTube videos. It was super intimidating at first because I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to be saying. I'm just going to, I still don't know really what I'm saying or what the purpose of these are. But I felt like I could make one and talk about things that are on my brain, I guess, but there's all kinds of things in there. And then people are like, oh, you need to like, slow down or you think a lot or this. And I'm like, if it was a choice, I'd understand your reactions, but like, it's not that I'm doing anything differently or that I would be different if X or Y. Like the other day, one of the two, or like whatever, one of the other people in the training was like, I think this meditation will help you. And I'm like, meditation is generally helpful. Ooh. that was me saying, hey, I'm being an ass. I'm like, yeah, well, that's kind of the point of like meditation. It's just a thing that you use as a tool, and like that it would help me in particular, help anybody in particular. I mean, I knew the implications, but that's, I felt like the implications were like, hey, chill, because like, I can't help what I am. I'm just trying to branch out as it, and it's challenging because I've always known me and I've always been myself inside me, but like, being with like short hair, for example, I mean, I thought it was just like, your long hair is so beautiful. It's not me. I don't like hair. It gets in my face and there's a lot going on, and I need to shave the sides of my hair because I can, because it's not anybody else's hair. And I've always known me inside me, and now that I'm an adult, I get to do more me things. Like if I want to go buy a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I don't have to eat, then I'm going to go buy a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'm not going to use that money for food because I'm an adult and that's what adults do. I'm just kidding, but I mean, kind of. But being an adult is, I mean, not an adult in like the adult sense, but an adult in the sense that I have now the freedom of choice in that my brain is developed enough to know that I have a choice, and I've developed enough courage to be able to act on what I know to be true, and I've started to really know what makes me happy. Like this tattoo, or not that one, this one, I mean, they both make me happy. This tattoo is the word legitimate. Okay, you can't see because it's flipped, but this is like my favorite thing ever. I love my legitimate tattoo. That's why it's on my side. The word's nowhere faster there for people that, assume that I'm going nowhere fast. Like, okay, it's right there. What else want me to do? Or like, combating against the issue of, things going, me going nowhere fast, like fighting against that belief or that assumption. It's also a reminder, like if I'm doing a yoga pose, it's like, we don't have to go anywhere fast. And also I'm ADHD and like technically go nowhere fast. And it was inspired by the Eminem song, because it matched the beat of my heart when I heard it, and that song it really resonates with me from start to finish. I feel like I identify more with rappers because of a lot of the experiences that I've had and just the bullshit that goes on, and I feel like I'm tough enough, and those are stories for another day. And Kendrick meditates, candles lit, and does yoga, yoga on a Monday, stretch to Nirvana. So his initials are KL, so. It's just the sign and similarities, or, I don't know. That was a segue. It was a really, really bad one too. So I gotta go because I have to go talk to Ricardo about God knows what. And I mean, they're great. You guys can probably meet them soon. But I'm doing well. I was really, really tired and really rough. I had lost my voice in Chicago, and then it was a mess getting up here. And now my allergies cleared up. It's about to get cold. It's kind of cold, and that's why I'm wearing my sweatpants and my vest. Thanks, Linda, to practice and stuff. But yeah, we'll see if I get a haircut, and if I do, I'll post another video. But I don't know, this training is it's really interesting. It's not really conventional, neither am I, so it feels appropriate. And I made some really beautiful friendships, and I've made some really interesting discoveries. I'm trying to figure out why I want to be a teacher, why I'm saying things, or what the purpose is of me saying something, or what the message I have to give. So I really appreciate anybody that's on this journey with me, and that's patient with me, having these awkward videos that I'm trying to, muddle through. I think it's important for me to just post the hell out of whatever I need to post so I can figure out what I'm doing. That's how I work, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let that show, let that shine, let that whatever the word is. But so this is, I guess, be prepared, because so thank you again. If you have any questions, or if you want me to talk about something in particular, comment and subscribe below. I guess, I don't know. I guess I kind of know. I'll try and post when I can, and it'll be in Kristen's contemplative corner, is what I'm calling it in my head. And yeah, I really don't know how this training is going to go or what's going on. I wish I had more for you guys, but it's busy days and have great trainees. So shout out to everybody who's watching, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.